Sean Diddy Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, has given up on his bail hearing after the prosecution revealed that Diddy was actively engaging in witness tampering while inside prison. A leaked call between Diddy and his son, Christian Combs, has destroyed Diddy's chances of bail. Prosecutors argue that Diddy is not entitled to bail and should not even get a hearing on this issue. Combs is currently in detention at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, after being denied bail by other judges. The main issues keeping him locked away are that the courts have held that prosecutors have shown that he is a danger on the outside and a potential flight risk. Most notably, evidence put forward that he had been improperly contacting victims and witnesses in this case. Sean Combs' counsel has denied all this, stating that all of those conversations were not done with the intent to engage in witness tampering or obstruction. The government has come out with new evidence to justify pretrial detention, including orchestrated social media campaigns, public leaks of materials, and contacted witnesses through third parties. Diddy's legal team is scrambling after Diddy's bail was denied for a third time, this time with an added charge of witness tampering. The details of the bail hearing show that the judge believed Diddy to be a threat to both the public and the witnesses. The court found that the government has shown by clear and convincing evidence that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of the community. Diddy is desperate to get out of jail because he knows that once the witnesses in this indictment speak out against him, he will never see the light of day again. A leaked document of Diddy's proposed bail package showed that he was offering to pay $50 million as bail money just so he could get out. The case involves rapper Tiesto, who is in federal custody until May 2025. His bail will be secured by the equity in his Miami, Florida home detention, and his passport will be surrendered due to the government's insufficient evidence. The charges include allegations that he and his associates tried to tamper with witness testimony last year to avoid cooperation with the government. The decision to deny Diddy's bail and keep him in federal custody came after Diddy's call records revealed what he had been telling his son. The government has made a bail appeal to Judge Carter, but it did not go their way. The judge is determined to get Diddy's case to trial as quickly as possible and minimize the time he spends in difficult and inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit of the Metropolitan Detention Facility. He believes Diddy is innocent and will fight the case with all of their might until they no longer have to fight. The prosecution claims that Diddy was allegedly telling his son to take care of any witnesses by referring to them as pizza boxes. Diddy also hinted at the tapes he recorded, which he called plastic. He asked his son to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes and recycle the plastic. The judge is unsure if Jay has reached out yet, but he is about to get out on bail. The judge also mentions the release date for a new Netflix movie and the fact that Diddy is worth nothing and doesn't have anything in his name. In summary, the case revolves around Tiesto's bail, his detention, and the prosecution's allegations. The judge believes that Diddy is innocent and will continue to fight the case until the end. The text discusses the reasons behind Diddy's desperate attempts to contact witnesses even when his phone is tapped, as more and more tapes are coming out showing him in intimate sexual relations with minors. Diddy knows that even if one of these tapes gets leaked to the public, his life is over. 8 tapes have been handed over to the FBI by Kim Porter, along with an alleged document written by Kim Porter that details all of Diddy's crimes. The text asks the speaker about the circumstances surrounding the tapes and their potential impact on the victims. It also discusses how many of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs appeared to be either inebriated or under the influence of drugs. The speaker speculates that all of the celebrities were victims or perpetrators, and Diddy is desperately trying to keep these tapes hidden. Diddy is also accused of paying other inmates to let him use their phone privileges and thought that he could get away from being recorded this way. However, he didn't realize that every call coming and going out of prison is legally wiretapped. Since there is no realistic expectation of privacy, Diddy's private calls are not protected under the Fourth Amendment. The text also discusses the difficulty of getting Diddy to get in contact with witnesses, as he must know they recorded the calls. The speaker believes that Diddy must be one of the smartest and dumbest persons to get away with witness tampering in prison, as they take everything. The speaker also mentions that Diddy was using cell phones to make calls to some people, which would be closely monitored by the guards. Multiple witnesses that Diddy called are coming out and reporting Diddy's illegal calls. Some witnesses have also reported that they have received calls from people close to Diddy asking them to stay silent in return for money. One of the witnesses, Jean, claims that Diddy sent someone through someone else to try to get in contact with him, telling him that enough is enough. The text also mentions a phone call from Kirk Burrows, a close friend of Diddy, who wanted to speak to Gene about Puff. Gene knows the dude and knows how close he is to Puff, so he has nothing to say to Gene. However, Kirk Burrows did say that the dude said, "There's enough." Despite the judge's ruling on Diddy's bail, his attorney has announced that they will try for bail again. Diddy needs to focus on his trial rather than wasting his time trying to get bail. He has been known to threaten, coerce, and manipulate witnesses while also having reports that he is a known arsonist and murderer. There is no way that he is going to get bail. The prosecution is using impromptu searches and taking Diddy's legal information, which they believe is not true. They are constantly going in jail cells searching him, taking his legal briefs, and possibly using this against him. The judge is going to want to know what happened in the interim of Diddy doing these alleged things, and they will charge him with something new. The pressure is mounting on Diddy and his alleged co-conspirators, as more than 30 civil and criminal lawsuits currently filed against him in both federal and state courts across the country. Reports indicate that Diddy was involved sexually with minors as young as 7 years old, who were reportedly provided to Diddy by their parents. These parents knew what Diddy was doing to their children, but decided to let it happen. The attorney plans to name people in these lawsuits without doing their due diligence, because these types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they are not true, and very hurtful if they are true. They anticipate that they will start filing lawsuits and may not be big names at first, but they have a long list of names. When a victim tells them that someone was in the room or participated, they want to do as much due diligence as humanly possible before they file that case. In the United States, public filings are in fact public, so they are going to make sure to dot their I's and cross their T's. Some instances of incidents that have raised eyebrows include another minor who was told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star. Another incident where an individual was drugged and taken into a private room where a minor was raped, and another incident where an individual, 26, was picked up by Mr. Combs and several others in a black SUV from the airport and given one drink in the SUV. She woke up the next day with pain and damage to her vagina and anus, missing her underwear and shoes. Another instance involves an individual, not a minor, attending a group dinner with Sean Combs in Miami, who was not drinking because she was pregnant but apparently laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed again, allegedly with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and anus were torn and sore. In conclusion, Diddy's attorney is focusing on his trial rather than trying to get bail, as the pressure is mounting on him and his alleged co-conspirators as more harrowing allegations come to light. The longer this case goes to trial, the more evidence will come out. Diddy knew that the tapes he had would protect him, but they turned out to be the very things that will send him to prison. His friends and family have been brandishing him, and they are now represented by a brand, not speaking on anything related to them. They are praying that they are not on the tape, doing crazy stuff and being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, they will start talking in his favor. They will not talk in his favor. If they come to them and show them what they got on tape, they will realize that if someone got caught spilling a cookie out the cookie jar, they didn't think they were being watched. Brother Love was watching, and TD Jakes hasn't even came out and said anything. People in the congregation are shaking in their boots because Diddy didn't let them possibly lead them to damnation. People always put their faith in the pastor instead of putting their faith in God. They need to understand that he is just a man with a history. It's not looking too good for him. Celebrities are worried that they might be on tape, but they know that they are not speaking up or saying nothing. When they don't know somebody is taping them or videoing them, they are a little loose and they let down their inhibitions. The music is pumping, and Diddy himself said that he got it so hot in there that you had to take your clothes off. New allegations from musician Tanya Wallace have added another layer of controversy to the already damning case against Sean Diddy Combs. In the documentary, TMZ presents the downfall of Diddy, detailing her experiences at a 2018 party hosted by him. Wallace recounted witnessing minors being abused by a group of adults. Harvey Levine, the founder of TMZ, has seen tapes that corroborate Tanya's claims. Tanya Wallace claims she was flown out from LA to Miami by the Saudi prince and ended up on Star Island at one of Diddy's parties. She walked into the house and found a cluster of adults around what she described as little people dressed up as Japanese Barbies. She eventually realized that they were minors, and that there was nothing specific going on with them other than that adults were kind of huddled around them. One of the freak-off tapes, directed by Diddy himself, features a male sex worker who walks through his experiences. The tapes don't sound illegal, but seem to comport with many of the other stories that have been told. The tapes describe a threesome, which is something that the U.S. attorney even referenced in an earlier documentary. The U.S. attorney and his lawyer in an earlier documentary said that it was all consensual. The feds are now looking at alleged sex trafficking, possibly transporting someone and possibly paying them to cross state lines. This could end up being part of sex trafficking. The man who got a subpoena and left the tape with prosecutors is mentioned in the documentary. From damning call records to the alleged tapes now in the FBI's hands, Diddy's desperate attempts to regain control are backfiring spectacularly. With witness testimonies mounting and shocking details surfacing daily, it seems inevitable that Diddy's dark secrets will come to light. What lies ahead for Diddy as this case unfolds? Will he find a way to turn the tide, or is this truly the end of the line for him?